So now we begin this video pertaining to the sons of Ham. Ham is a KJV term. It's no different from where we get Cham, which means Kemet. Kemet and Hamitic is the same man. It's just I guess the C is dropped, whatever, but it's the same bloodline of people. This is how Egyptians, Libyans, Ethiopians are all Kemetic. And I don't believe they even understand that. What do they call Egyptologists? I don't even believe they understand the terms that they use or where they come from. They promote this Nubia and Egyptian theory that these nations are just top notch, but in reality, they have some pretty disgusting practices. But I digress. But Ethiopia, your Egyptians, and your Libyans are Kemetic nations because they descend from Cham. Just like your Japhetic nations all descend from that same man, their forefather, right? It's very simple. So he directly had these 4 sons, and we're going to break down the 4. I'm going to zoom in. We're going to start with the Canaanite. The Canaanites, as you see, these are the families. And again, every point here has a source to it, okay? They're all here. This is not just a chart that I just made up out of thin air like a lot of these groups do, okay? Everything is in the Table of Nations, which is what? Genesis chapter 10, okay? This is what it looks like, bird's eye view. I think the more prominent of the Canaanites was the Amorites. The Amorites is where we get the term Amor, which is basically love. Now, coincidentally, that's where we get Sodom and Amorah. I know it's Gomorrah, but it's Amorah, okay? And they were destroyed because of their quote-unquote love practices. Connection, okay? But these are your Amorites, okay? As we move forward, actually, also before I move forward, the Canaanites, a lot of their tribes had problems staying put. As we go to Put next, which is the next, basically his brother. Okay, Put, but we see here there's a lot of these tribes. They didn't just stay in what we know today as Africa, North Africa. They actually stayed in Semitic lands. They stayed in the lands dedicated to Japhet also. Okay, so I'm not focusing on quote unquote look like, because that's silly. This is about descendancy and not looks, because a lot of these nations would look like whatever. So as we move forward to Put, which is your Libyans, Put was just a standalone man who didn't produce multiple tribes, as we see. Also residing in Africa, Egypt, Northeast Africa. We all are familiar with Egypt, or Mizraim. Both Egypt and Mizraim mean bondage, because that's the house of bondage, right? We scroll down, we see these are the names of the tribes that basically form the nation of Egypt. And this is where we also get right here your Palestinian. Now, I know TV will show the Palestinian to basically be an Arab, because people are not so smart nowadays and they'll just watch TV. But what you have here is Arabs residing in Palestine. Okay, that's why we have to be intelligent and know who we come from, and not focus on where we live or where we come from. Okay, it's who we descend from. That's the importance of this whole thing. So the Palestinian contrary to what we see on TV, it's not an Arab. It's an actual descendant of an Egyptian. And then lastly, we're going to shift gears and go to Ethiopia. Again, I have all of my sources here. This is all Genesis 10 information. This is not brand new. You just got to break it down and see who comes from who. You have a lot of brothers here. The more prominent is Nimrod. He was a bad boy, okay? Nimrod then had his sons, and this is where we get the term Babylonia from, okay? Babylon is where we get the Tower of Babel. It's from the Kemetic nation Ethiopia, okay? Now, as this just crossed my mind, the sons of Noah are post-flood, meaning they're not. And I say this, I want to address the Egyptology theories that, oh, these were just the baddest nations. They think that it's, Negroes. Negroes are not Kemetic, first of all. Second, the theory that all wisdom comes from these nations is folly, because these nations had their rise because of the prior existence of people from my first video dealing with the beginning, okay? The beginning had people. There was wisdom in the beginning. It just wasn't just a bunch of just ignorant, dumb cavemen or whatever. Like those people had wisdom and wickedness. It's just the torch being passed along again. That's all it is. It's not, oh, these Egyptians, they just started doing all these amazing. No, they're copying. They're not the source. They're actually copying. Okay. Just no different from the commandments. It didn't begin with, I guess you could say Moses or Noah. No, that all was given to Adam. But that basically summarizes this Kemetic thing, because there was only 4 nations produced from this, man. So it's not that detailed. I could go into detail on Nimrod and Babel, but history basically shows us about the prosper and the downfalls of these nations, also other prophecies, but this is their connection back to their father, which is Ham, and then Ham being descendant from Noah, and then those 10 generations connected to Adam. There's the easy, we all come from Adam, the end, butterflies and rainbows and being lazy, but this is the breakdown to the division after Adam, okay? It's important so that we can understand the remainder of the book. This prophecy relates to these people. This prophecy relates to those people. It's the division of waters, basically. You have the dividing of water. This is how different nations are beasts. You got to know this beast from that beast. If you just willy-nilly, we all come from Adam, that's just BS, man. That's lazy. It's ignorant, but that's basically it. Until next time, this is it as it is written. I have all my sources here, and I'm out.